Hi, welcome to Tammy Tell Me True. I'm 4 days away from having my gastric bypass surgery, and I thought the most fitting person I could probably talk to right now is a professional. I'm about to talk to Sue Bunnell. She's an RN. She's a bariatric patient, post-op 16 years, and she's phenomenal. And I want to ask her some questions, things you might even want to know, but things that are sort of the things that are on my mind at the moment that really pertain to what's about to happen. So let's talk to Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Tammy. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to talk to you and for everyone to meet you. We're like new besties. It's amazing.
We are new besties. We are very fast new best friends.
I know, it's like I love when you click with someone like that. It's really great. It's great. So I introduced you. You're an RN, which which is amazing. I mean, RNs are rock stars. I said it when I warned everyone about this interview. I told them, "Ooh, we got a rock star coming," and that's amazing in itself. But you're also you were a bariatric RN, and but you were also you're a post-op gastric bypass patient. So tell everyone, let's talk a little bit about your life as an RN. And then
sure. Yeah. As we were talking, I have been a nurse for, quite a few decades now. And I had worked in some different fields, and it was so funny because as my life evolves, I actually had bariatric surgery. And I did so well after the surgery, they asked me to be the support group leader in the hospital in which I worked. And then I had surgery January, that was September. And then the following February, they were going to hire a clinical care coordinator to specialize, in the bariatric field. And so I thought, that's my job. And so I applied and got the job and built a bariatric program in the hospital where I had my surgery. We became accredited.
Wow.
Went through accreditation with them a couple of times. And I wanted to be the director of my own program. That was sort of where I wanted to go. And so from there, I was recruited to another hospital. And, they hung that carrot out there. We're going to let you build your own program up from a footprint. And so from that, that probably is one of those things in your life you go, this is my aha moment. This is my star on the sidewalk, doing that.
Yeah. And so you were an RN, you had the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
How long after, so do you mind sharing how much weight you lost?
Oh gosh, no. I'm pretty transparent, as we said. I had worked on the floor for a number of years and went into quality management because my health got so bad. My asthma was really bad. So I went into quality management where I was off the floor, and they actually had started talking to me about going on to disability. And so I was, at that time, I was hovering around 293. So when I had surgery, and I'm 5'1", 0.3.
Wow.
So I was about as wide as tall.
Wow.
And then right after surgery, my weight loss, I lost down to like 167. And that's my set point where my body likes to be. So if I want to be less than 167, I really have to add exercise. I have to tighten up my diet. I have to work hard. I like to be 145 to 155 is what I call player weight, and that's, I really feel great at that weight. Right now I'm at set point.
Gotcha.
So,
you look amazing.
You're so sweet.
You look amazing. So then you lost all the weight. Where I'm trying to correlate is how long after your surgery did you then become a bariatric, focus in the bariatric community?
I was the support group leader in September. So that was January to September, 8 months.
Wow.
So, I still didn't know a whole lot. I had not had any formal education. And they said, "Oh, come be our support group leader." And how you go, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So their idea was, you're a weight loss surgery patient. You should know how to help other people.
Gotcha.
So that was when I took the job full time. That February, I started seeking out some conferences and some training. I found another bariatric coordinator in my town, and I went and mentored with her. And I had her teach me the things she knew and what she taught her patients, and how to build a great program and how to build a great support group. So started networking with other people and learning what I didn't know before I had surgery.
Wow.
Because, I went through the classes. I had a psychological evaluation, and it was all yang, yang, yang. Nothing was serious until after the surgery. And I was like, okay, this is real. What they say about water? It's like all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's real. I should have listened more. I should have been more prepared, because I was just running down the road trying to get surgery. And there's a lot of folks still like that today. They're just running as hard as they can to get surgery. They're yang everybody. They're not really embracing the journey. They're not taking into account what those life changes mean.
Yeah.
For somebody that chooses to do the 2-week diet ahead of time, that is choosing to start measuring what they drink, that is choosing healthier alternatives, eating on a schedule. That's somebody that's really embracing things and really trying to incorporate those things into their life every day. I was a runner toward the goal. Yeah. And then after I got home from the hospital, and I go, oh Lord, where's some diet sheets from that lady? And I'm trying to find my book together on what I can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you know, my surgery's in 4 days.
Yes.
Very excited. I know.
So excited.
I know. I feel like I've been preparing for this my whole life.
Yes.
It's very dramatic,
Yes.
but it's what I feel like. So let's talk recovery, because that's
okay.
Something that is like, of course, I'm not afraid to have the surgery.
Good.
But,
good.
I'd like to hear your, take on what the progression of recovery is like, and just how's this going to go, Sue? How's this going to
Well, I'm just going to tell you, this is the way we like to see it go.
Okay.
We get you to surgery. The surgery goes beautifully. We wake you up. We tell you are in recovery, and you don't really remember recovery. We look for signs and symptoms of nausea and pain, and we give you IV drugs. You sit in there an hour. Your vital signs are stable. We roll you to your room. You meet your new nurses in your room. They check your blood pressure. They check your oxygen levels. You may have a little oxygen for the first few hours afterwards. You may not be taking good deep breaths. You may be a little tender in your stomach area. By the time you can open your eyes and look at us, where you're not just like, still all drugged up.
Yeah.
You can open your eyes and look at us. We're going to say, hey, let's go take a walk. And we may just get you up and sit you in the chair, or try to walk you to the restroom to see if you need to empty your bladder.
You recommend, some people have talked about needing something to kind of press against my belly a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little like roll, my friends used duct tape and rolled up like a blanket, and then just to use it as a thing. Does that something I need?
It is like a splint. Like you can just use your hands, or you can bring like a little, you can bring like a little Auburn pillow if you have one of those, or a Georgia pillow. That would work fine. But just something no larger than about 12-inch square. And basically you're just going to hold that against your tummy when you need to cough. And that will help not feel like it's so painful. But you can it's called splinting, and you can just splint with your hands if you want to, where you just hold it. You can't see my tummy, but I'm holding it against the stomach.
You're like holding
just give it, you're just pushing in when you cough, so you feel like your stomach doesn't do like that.
Gotcha.
Just to be a little bit more comfortable.
Because it's just tender. It's okay.
That's it. It's just tender. So we'll get you up, and then some places will let you have ice chips a couple hours after surgery. Some folks will give you a popsicle. Some people say you have to do a swallow the next day and won't give you anything. So it depends on your surgeon and what protocols he follows. But typically, most of us will start giving some ice chips or liquids. Now, your tummy, everybody's tummy is different. So what you tolerate at this point in time may be different than what you tolerate at another point in time. It's trying to like feed a 2-year-old.
Gotcha.
And I hate to tell you that.
Right. And now you said a swallow. Are you talking? Is that the upper GI that I'm going to do?
Yes.
It's the test the next day. That's going to make sure there's no leaks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I figured that's what you meant.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
And then one of the big concerns after post-op is dehydration. I know that's
Yeah.
a big thing. And so I'll have fluids, IV fluids, but then they're going to want me to start drinking water, right? I'm going to start drinking water pretty soon. I mean, I'm a water drinker. I always have my water bottle. So
I know, and you're you have so many beautiful habits already. Your behaviors are just going to take a small tweak to deal with this new little pouch you're going to have. And drinking water is, one of my things as working with the bariatric clients in the hospital is I would set up little 1 ounce medicine cups, and basically just little 1 ounce cups. And I would say, now you're going to sip this over 15 minutes. You're going to drink it like a fine wine. We don't shoot it like tequila, because you don't want that big bolus of fluids going into your little tiny pouch at one time, because most of the surgeons make a pouch about 1 ounce in size. So you don't want to put a whole ounce in there. So you just take little tiny sips over that 15 minutes. It'd be like this
little tiny thing.
Yeah, it's like the size of a medium egg.
Wow.
Yeah. So you want to be real careful. So, and I encourage you, watch the clock. And if you're drinking 1 ounce every 15 minutes in a basic 16-hour day, you can get 64 ounces of fluid in.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, and I always tell people, if you start feeling a little queasy, wait about 15 minutes and go again.
And do it. Gotcha.
And because it is a very fine line between getting too dry. The problem is once you start getting dehydrated, you can get nauseated and you can get a headache. Well, once that happens, it's really hard to drink. So very quickly, our patients can go from, I'm drinking, I hadn't drunk anything a couple of hours, and now I got a headache and I feel a little queasy, so I try to drink and then I throw up. Yeah. And I can't keep anything down, so I'm back in, getting a bag of fluids. So drinking is just huge. And if you're not able to drink, that puts extra pressure on your kidneys. And that's why we give you a lot of IV fluids. We don't want you to have any kidney injury from, your body being dry. So yeah, drinking is a big deal. It really
My goal is going to be to keep drinking when I get home. And then that makes me have to use the bathroom, which I'm going to use the bathroom at the clear other end of the house, which will be my walking.
And doing your spirometry. We talked about the little breathing exercise machine to keep your lungs good and open.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be key. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really important too. Exercise those lungs, because you've been put to sleep with general anesthesia. So we've got to be sure those lungs are happy.
And then once I'm home, then the diet hopefully progresses so for those of you who don't know, it goes from clear liquids for a couple of days to full liquids, which are protein drinks. I can have yogurt and sugar-free yogurt, sugar-free puddings, broth, of course, and
cream-based soups.
And that's for what? That's for 2 weeks, I think. I don't have my papers in front of me. That's for 2 weeks. And then you start to be able to puree some foods, pureed soups, and starting to have cottage cheese. And it's like learning to eat again like a baby.
It is. It's just like a baby. And I tell people, I said, if you've got this on newborn, are you going to give them a French fry? Well, no, you're not going to give them a French fry. Then don't give your new pouch a French fry. Treat it just like a baby. You do, very thin milk to start with in very small measured quantities. Then they get a little cereal. And then you start with, do we give them corn on the cob as their first vegetable? Well, no. We give them a little potato or a little carrot well cooked, a little English pea, things that are very soft, don't have a lot of husks to deal with. Those are the first things that we give them. And it's just like going to the baby food section in the grocery store and go, oh yeah, I'm not on phase 1 yet. I can't eat that crunchy yet. It's the same thing with your little pouch. You may feel like you're all well, but after this kind of surgery, some folks take a full 8 to 12 weeks for the swelling to go down and for everything to heal properly on the inside. So we don't want you pushing limits, because we don't want a late leak to show up. And that can happen if you go home and eat chicken wings.
Oh God. No. Yeah. So yes. So speaking of which, so it's about, because people have been asking me, like, how long is it going to take to recover? And I've been telling people about 2 weeks, right, before I'm really moving around normally. Is that right?
That is a fair statement. I always encourage my folks to stay off work a couple of weeks to allow themselves plenty of time to adjust to their new feeding habits, their eating habits. Because if you have to go back into a work environment, try to do it over a long weekend or maybe take 5 days off, it's very hard to keep something to drink readily available in an office environment, especially now with what we're dealing with COVID and masks and things like that. You can't sip as long as you need to.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
right.
always encourage folks to take a good 2 weeks to allow yourself to be sure you're over that risk of becoming dehydrated. You're able to tolerate things very well. Your pain's controlled. You get used to the new eating system, because I'm going to tell you, it is all you can do to eat and drink and stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a lot to keep up with. It's time to eat. It's time to go to the bathroom. It's time to walk. It's time to have a snack.
Because I'm going to be eating small amounts more frequently, and I have to make sure I get my protein in all day.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
And your vitamins,
yeah.
all your vitamins and your supplements. And hey, that, again, it's just a lot. Yeah, it's just a lot.
Well, I'm glad so the timing for me is good, because I'm doing it over the holidays and or before, really. And I don't plan on working anytime soon. Sorry, folks, for those of you who work with me in my other life. So yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping you can, phone call work is one thing. Zoom meetings is one thing if you're working from your house, where you can lay down and rest. It is such a swing in calories. It's very hard to get 400 to 600 calories a day is what you'll probably be able to take in, and that's not a whole lot for your body. And so you've got to be kind to your body,
or for your brain fuel.
Yes, and to be clear. And so allow yourself time to heal. That's very important. But yeah, usually after the first couple of weeks, you go, okay, I think I'm feeling better. I'm thinking clearer. I'm beginning to get a little bit more stamina. Walking is really the only exercise you can do, probably for about six weeks or so, because we do want all of that to heal properly on the inside. Then after that, depends on what you feel like doing. So
yeah. So now I'm going to shift gears to the complete opposite end of like a year from now. Let's fast forward, take a time machine.
Okay.
So this is something I've talked about a lot with people, and it sounds like I might be jumping the gun, but I think about regaining weight, because I'm doing this for the long haul. The idea of regaining weight, because I already did this. I lost 10 pounds on Weight Watchers, and then I gained it all back and then some. And I'm not going through this again. But the reality is, and my friend that had the gastric bypass, she has gained a chunk of weight back. And I remember asking her, like I literally was like, how is that possible? Like physically, how is it possible?
I don't understand how that can happen.
But there's some and I was early on and I didn't know. So, I know it's early to be thinking about that, but I feel like I want to address it up front, because it's something that I want to, I'm basically getting a chance here. I'm getting a new tool and a new leash on life and a new chance with a clean slate. And I get to now rebuild myself with good habits, and I want to go into it avoiding that as much as possible. So, not only your professional opinion, but just, we've talked about it on the side about, things that we go through as food addicts. What's your 2 cents on that, or 5 or 10 cents?
My 2 cents on that is, when I lost my weight, I went down to my set point, which runs around 163. At 5'1", I was still pudgy. I was not this super slim size 0 that I thought, 115-pound chick I thought I was going to be.
Oh yeah.
And then as time went on, lots of great compliments, lots of things went well, but I had clothes that fit. I owned no pants with elastic waist. 0. Everything I had a fitted waist, a button and a zipper. And I had basically, I was down to, I wore 12s and 14s until I had some reconstructive surgery done and had that bottom fat taken off.
Yeah.
Then I was down to an 8 after that happened. 8. Wow. When I got down to player weight, that was about a 4 and a 6.
Amazing.
I know. But
When's the last time you
for
had
me,
that size? Like for me, it was like, I was in the 5th grade.
I don't even remember being that size. It was like I was in like 6'6", 7'8". I don't know, large.
Yeah.
I've always been I'm more of a curvy person than a very straight and fragile person. I've always been pretty stout with pretty firm muscle base. But as far as gaining weight, I think the biggest thing you have to do is own it. You cannot allow yourself to I don't know what's the right way to say it. Because I was a victim of domestic violence, that cannot be that it doesn't give me permission to overeat. Just because you lost your puppy, you've got to have a safety zone around you and realize that you are actually in control of what goes into your mouth. You have the power to make the choice.
There it is.
You don't have to grieve. You don't have to celebrate. There are many ways to have fulfillment and excitement other than with food. And for me, the whole time I was growing up, if I was good, I could have a snack. I could have a candy. I was always, if you're good at grandma's, when you come home, you can have a popsicle. I mean, it was always related to good behavior. And, I don't know, for me, I really have food addiction issues. I really love sugar a lot. I really, but at some point, it's like I told people, I have never been able to win against food ever in my whole life until I had this surgery. And I may not win every single day and stay on program every single day, but overall, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Really 17 years later, I'm still at set point. And that's huge.
It's amazing.
That's huge. And, but it's like, if I see, I weigh just about every day, unless I eat real bad, then I wait about 2 days before I weigh again. But I usually weigh about every day. And if I see that weight, creeping up and I start getting, 167, 169, 170, it's like,
Turn that car around. Yeah.
The rules never change for us. Protein first. How many grams of protein do you eat? You can eat a ton of vegetables. You need to have a fruit a day. You need to have some good calcium, be it yogurt. We can't fool ourselves into eating half a jar of peanut butter on crackers because we need the protein.
Yeah, of course not. Of course, yeah.
Or eating 4 cheese sticks because, I'm just trying to get my protein in. Well, no. There's healthier ways to do that. So it's not just about protein, but it's carbs and fat. And I'm going to tell you, being in the bariatric field all of these years and being deemed an expert in my field by different companies and all this work that I did, I couldn't afford to regain my weight. You know what I'm saying? That was this driving force. But I think for gaining weight, number one is staying true to the rules, moving your body. I don't say exercise because I hate exercise and I'm a gymophobe. I'm terrified of going to the gym and exercising in front of other people. I mean, it really, I'm just scared to death. I mean, like I could throw up if I had to go get on a treadmill in front of other people. I know, I'm just terrified. Now I can speak in front of 10,000 people. It doesn't bother me at all.
Wow.
Make me want to go and like lift some weights in the gym. I'll throw up. But anyway, that's kind of my thing. You have to take ownership of your health. And things, you eat stuff that you choose to eat. No one can make you eat bad. It's your choice. No matter what the situation, no longer is food the best answer.
Yeah.
And then, but this tool is strong enough to give me whatever that is to stick with it. To always come back to the roots. Like the prodigal son that goes away. He came back home. You always come back to what you should be doing.
Thank you so much for this. Has been like an abundance of information. I wish you could be there with me.
Wish I could too. Would you say that you've got your special mentor that needs to come, your private nurse that needs to come?
My support nurse, and she's coming. And isn't that a thing? Let's make that a thing. A support.
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a total thing. You need your support person. I mean, can you have your dog? Then probably me too.
I know. This is her. She's with me. Can't you don't you have
Uh-huh.
scrubs lying around you can still throw on and just like walk in?
Probably, yeah.
Well, thank you.
I think that's probably illegal.
Yeah.
You pretending to be a nurse that works here to be with a patient
I
who
don't want you
doesn't.
to
But
get arrested to come and
yeah, I won't do good in jail. I won't be. I like to be comfortable.
yes. Well, listen, I hope we'll be talking to you again on this format, but also I'll be talking.
Absolutely.